course, Charlotte Flair, I think, is one of the best in the world, and I don't care. I know she always gets insulted for some strange reason through people just insulting maybe her looks or but her skills you can't compare to anything. And she again in an interview, I want to bring this up. She said in a recent interview, well, if the men are guaranteed night two main eventing WrestleMania, why aren't the women guaranteed night one? Rhea Ripley won the Royal Rumble. They weren't in the main event. Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble main event. Is it the Triple H in a press conference said, well, it was because of the storyline of the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which was bigger. But you talked about equality earlier. Is that equality or is that, well, storytelling? Like there's a give and take here. What's your thoughts on this? Because Charlotte Flair just thinks not just she, the women deserve a main event spot.
Okay, so I understand equality in fighting because that's all I've been doing in two male dominated sports.
Exactly.
I know more, I best, not better, but just best in my monster truck situation. And I'm going to say a good part of wrestling. I mean, I got
A
asked,
big part of wrestling,
yes, I
not a
mean,
small
I
one.
got ostracized. I mean, I continually had brick walls in front of me, and I had to find ways respectfully during the time I was employed and under contract.
Yes.
Let's get that straight, title
Yes.
trashers. And so I will, it's not that I'm going to take Triple H's side, but women want equality and women want they want what everyone else has.
Mm-hmm.
And because rightfully so, in a world on where we're at. However, I'm going to go back to where you have to prove that you can do that spot. All right. So people and women and everybody feel that, hey, we've earned this spot. We need to main event. Or, hey, straight from the Royal Rumble, we get a spot.
Right, right, right.
But you got to ask your question. You got to ask yourself this question and everybody out there, is a match or a storyline strong enough to carry a main event
Yep.
WrestleMania? I'm sorry. So on the defense of women, we're only as good as a group. All right. You yourself as a wrestler and your training and your ability to deliver.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I'm only as good as the ring because if that ring ain't put together and it falls apart and I'm wrestling, my match goes to crap. Number three, I'm only as good as the creative writers and what the storyline they give me. And
Yeah.
number four, their social media and how they market you. You are a package, you're a total package. And you rely not just on yourself all the time, 100% to deliver,
Yeah.
but these other three people. And it's very effing important. And I cannot stress enough. I would love to see women carry a whole card at WrestleMania, but we're not there. We're not. You're going to tell me as soon as we can have women's stories that are creative enough to make sense and women that can deliver all of that stuff, because there is many, many talented women that deserve longer times and more input and whatnot. But it's got to be that believability,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got to have that support with the company you work with. Now, I know they say they do, and they're giving them that platform and they get all of this stuff. But that that whole bloodline, that whole match, it was Cody Rhodes, and I'm sorry, but it was the best. It was so good.
Yeah.
And I can't think of one woman's match during WrestleMania that would have carried WrestleMania. Can you that night?
No,
No,
like Triple H would get slack no matter what he said to that answer
exactly.
of
So
why did
I have to take a side, and
and
I'm a woman. And
I was just gonna say
if I think it's right, I'm going to say it.
thank you.
If I believe otherwise, I just said it. It is what it is. Those are
Yes.
my feelings. Those are my facts. I'm not talking for anybody. Clickbaits. So yeah, there you have it. Come at me. Don't come at anyone else.
I
Bitches, I'm ready for you.
I love it because you make a really good point because Triple H, as a man, giving that answer of, well, Charlotte
He
and
would
Rhea
have been
Ripley
ridiculed.
couldn't
That
main
guy would have
event.
been. Yes.
He did. He was asked this. I was at the press conference night one. He was asked, why did the Usos and Kevin Owens and Zayn main event over Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley? And he brought up the
Because it
story.
was
It's the
better.
story. that he's like, the Bloodline storyline is the best thing going in the WWE. So we are
Yes.
going to squeeze out every dollar, every
Damn
cent we
straight.
can while we can, because at some point this will either end or flounder. And right
Mm-hmm.
now, it's not floundering and it's not ending. So we're
And it's
gonna
not
keep
going
on
anywhere.
squeezing out that money. Cody lost, everyone's sad, boo-hoo. But guess what? It's not like the first time a good guy lost to a bad guy in a
It was
wrestling
great.
match.
I thought it was done well.
Yes.
Now, to go back to Trip and say, "Hey, Paul, we now let's start a great 6 to 8 months to a year nice storyline, and
Yeah.
let's think of something and let's build it like you did the Bloodline."
Yep. Ray and
They
Dom, I think, is a great example of something they built as well and kept like
exactly.
little breadcrumbs, even
I
separating
haven't
from
seen that
brands.
storytelling since the 80s and
Yep.
shit. You know what? Oh, excuse me. Whatever. Just
You
I
can
have
swear. It's okay.
not. You know what I mean? Look
Yep.
at the Miss Elizabeth and how long did all that stuff go?
Oh, Macho
Like
Man, Mega Powers exploding,
years.
WrestleMania 5. Yeah.
Gosh.
That was a whole year from WrestleMania 4 to WrestleMania
I have
5.
not seen a year-long program with a woman. So
Yeah.
when you start that and it starts getting some footwork and tread and marketing and publicity, why can't a woman headline WrestleMania one night and then the men head it the other night?
Yeah.
Okay. But I guess what? Creative, it's up to you, but then it's up to the women to deliver. And they're going to be able to tell if they can within 3 months. If they're not getting any feedback within 3 months on a storyline, then it's pulled back. And hey, let me work there and I'll do that. And I'd walk up to him and say, your shit's not working. You're not delivering. What can we do to work this out, girls? You got to step it up.
I love it.
Something.
I think
And
we
I would
need
lie because
Madusa.
I want them to get better. It's not here for me to push them down. I want to see that happen. And the only way to do it is to challenge them to say, all right, what do you got?
Yep.
Or,
I
hey, I got it. I got a great idea, by the way, for a long time with the women. But until they want to, I'm telling you.
so they want to
Yes.
give me that cash, then you're gonna give that idea for free. I was like, what is
Not for
it?
free.
What is
No.
it?
I be well, it involves the history of wrestling, and it just makes so much sense.
Well, I would love to
I mean,
see
that's
it.
a great way to birth the women into a great storyline is for it to make sense, not just to throw stuff out there and say we're going to start this feud and because it's this. You've got to make it make sense.
Yeah.
Right. And just little things a little bit at a time going, what's over here? But what's really over here? You know,
I agree.
they
I
can do
agree.
it. Now's the time.
Yeah, I
You
think
got 1 year to WrestleMania to prove to me that I'm right or wrong. So let's, you and I are going to circle back next year.
I love it. I will be right here waiting for you.